Hey guys, it's Matt here, and welcome to another episode of Keikaku Corner. Now, you guys might be wondering, where in the world is Tristan Walter? Well, sadly, he won't be here for the next 2, potentially 3 episodes of Keikaku Corner. He's actually digging up dinosaur bones on the moon. And I know what all of you guys are thinking. That is so routine, and why would we even need to mention it on the air? But it is something that he is doing. It's a passion of his, so you know what? Blast off, space dinosaur man. We'll see him again soon. Again, potentially 2 to 3 episodes down the line. So it will be me most of the time. However, we will be getting those guys play members to kind of come on and kind of gush about whatever topics suit them. So yeah, we will be doing that. Don't you worry. But for right now, I'll be going at this solo. So if you don't like me, if I was your least favorite part of this podcast, you are in for a lot of disappointment. But either way, though, we're going to jump to our first story. Jeez, that was... Some of you guys are like, Matt, please, I like you. Jeez. Anyway, so we're going to jump to our first story. We started off Keikaku Corner talking about Detective Conan. It's kind of funny how now, even without Tristan, we're talking about Detective Conan. So let me put on my glasses so I can read. And it's funny, without Tristan on the show, I can actually use my laptop instead of my phone. Usually the way we record, we actually have to record his audio through my computer. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so apparently... I don't know what this video will be titled if you're watching this on our YouTube channel. Conan O'Brien is going to go to Japan because he claims, and he does have a TV lawyer. Actually, I don't know if the guy's a TV lawyer or not. I don't know the lawyer that he had on his TV show, on his late night show. But he did have a lawyer saying, like, yeah, totally, of course, you know, in jest. But the fact that Conan O'Brien deserves royalties over Detective Conan and the Detective Conan name. And here's where things get really funny. If you're not laughing at this like I am, I'll explain why I think it's funny. Because, of course, jokes get so much funnier when you explain them. And I don't know if Conan is joking at it, coming at it from the same area that I am as to why I'm laughing. But so here's the thing. So you guys know what Detective Conan is. I imagine you do. If not, it's been running since '94. Although what's really funny is Conan O'Brien went on the air, and he said this himself, in '93. He made a joke about to international acclaim. Of course, at the time, he was just known in the U.S., but now, of course, international acclaim because he has traveled around the world. People watch Conan around the world, both his TBS show and when he was on NBC, albeit briefly. But still, so basically, there's a town in Japan. I want to make sure I get this right. There's a town in Japan in the Hokue Totori Prefecture, and apparently it has been dubbed, as of late, because of course Conan's been on the air for so long now, it's been dubbed Conan Town. So of course, you know, Conan is making the joke that, hey, you took that name from me. I started before Detective Conan was even a thing. The reason why I find this so funny, though, maybe some of you guys know this, maybe some of you guys don't. Detective Conan's name was changed to Case Closed in the U.S. Why was it changed to Case Closed? Because they were worried about a lawsuit or potentially the license holders in Japan. Not Funimation, actually. It was the license holders in Japan. I believe it was I think it was TMS in Japan. They were worried that the license holders for Conan the Barbarian would be coming after them. So it's actually quite funny that Conan the Barbarian, I'm sure whoever owns that would not have had any problem with Detective Conan. But it is hilarious that now we have Conan O'Brien coming after them. So for me, from that point of view, it's freaking hilarious. I know your mileage may vary, but for me, I find that freaking hilarious that it's Conan O'Brien of all people, because I could swear that I've made this joke once in my life. Probably, definitely not on air, because we never talked about Detective Conan on air other than Keikaku Corner. Maybe some random references, you know, while reviewing other anime with, you know, myself, Tristan Walter, whoever else. But it's just so funny to me that he's doing this. And here's the thing, too, right? I said earlier he's going to Japan. He was probably, I assume, planning on going to Japan regardless. Because he travels across the world with the television crew, and they have fun. Very different than like Logan Paul, because of course they tell the area wherever they're going, hey, we're gonna come here. Is that cool? Much different than Logan Paul, who just kind of shows up and just films dead bodies. That's not what he does all the time, I know, but like that was still really frustrating. So Here's the best part, though. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds a little bit funny. How does it get better? So Conan said that he asked for 3 trillion yen. So Conan asked for 3 trillion yen. He also asked for one of the laundromats in the area to be renamed. I think it was like Conan's Fluff and Stuff. It was like, okay. And that was the second thing. And then the third thing... oh yes, it was the Detective Conan statue. Instead of it having normal, like his normal, Detective Conan's hair, he will now have Conan's do, which is actually the Photoshop was done really well. I would actually love to see that crossover. Frankly, if we get a crossover, which will never happen, but if we do, between Detective Conan and Conan O'Brien, in the same way that we had a bunch of crossovers with like Shin-Chan, with like Kamen Rider Den-O, and a bunch of other, I mean, heck, we even had a crossover where it was someone in a Shin-Chan suit, so this was live action, in a Shin-Chan suit, crossing over with Den-O live action, so it actually had Takadu Sato as Ryotaro. So this is all Kamen Rider stuff. Some of you guys are like, what? I don't even know what Den-O is. It's Kamen Rider stuff. So it's just really funny to to have if we had a crossover like that. But either way, we had Conan make those demands. The mayor of Conan Town, or of Hokue, what did he say? Well, he actually responded, and he said, and this is true. There's a video that will be linked in the description box down below. He said he will fulfill the requests if, one, he gets his face. This is the mayor, Akio Matsumoto. If his face is put on Mount Rushmore, right next to Lincoln. Number 2, if he's given his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And number 3, if he brings 15,000 hamburgers with him. Now you're thinking, why 15,000? He's actually a very good mayor. 1 hamburger for each person, for each resident in the town. So that's actually pretty funny. And Conan actually called the bluff. He literally was like, you know what? Guess what? Guess what? Well, I'm gonna do it. And he didn't actually. He apparently, there's like a if you guys don't know, with many different talk shows, they'll have the area, wherever the area is that they're in. So like Colbert will have New York behind him. I'm pretty sure. Trevor Noah from Daily Show, newer Daily Show host. He'll have whatever town that he's in. So if they're in Chicago, they'll have Chicago behind them. If they're in DC, they'll have DC behind them. And Conan's no different. He's in LA, so he has LA behind him. So he literally put the mayor's face on the entirety of their version behind him of Mount Rushmore. So he did that, and then he put a fake sticker on Pitbull's. I don't know why Pitbull. I don't know what Pitbull has done to him. I don't know if Pitbull and Conan are having the same feud that Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel are having. I have no idea. But he put a star on Pitbull's and then ran away. And then he also, instead of bringing 15,000 hamburgers, he said they were going to airdrop a cow or a bull, airdrop a bull with a parachute on it and put a tracking label on there, and he did. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen when Conan actually goes to Japan. They said he would be going to Japan later on this week. Though when I'm filming this, it is technically later on during the week, so I don't know if it's going to be Thursday or Friday. What I do know, however, is that there is a hurricane, or I believe it might be a hurricane or a typhoon, according to Conan, coming to the town. So I don't know if he'll actually make it, sadly. He might make it the week after or something like that. Either way, when he does go, even though it'll be all over social media, it probably won't be on a show until next week, the earliest. So, either way, it's super interesting that he's doing this. Really funny. I'm happy that the writers found a way to spin this into a really funny anime reference. And hearing the crowd, by the way, his crowd, you would hear, like, it wasn't the entire crowd. Like, some of the crowd kind of went with it because, the applause sign is up or whatever. But there were some other people in the crowd who immediately, the second they saw Detective Conan, they were like, woo! Like, yeah, we love you, Conan. Conan, you're cool, but Conan, I like Conan. I don't even know which one I'm flipping to at this point. But either way, that was a lot of fun. It's just, I understand some of you guys are probably thinking like, oh, it's so stupid, or like, oh, who cares, and, they're making fun of my anime. I just find it to be a lot of fun. You know, it's a bit different than like the Clueless Gamer stuff where, you know, I'm not saying that Conan O'Brien doesn't like video games, but I'm not saying the people that he brings on doesn't like video games, but they definitely come together to play games that they both, or at least one half of the team, has never played before, which is fun because, I mean, obviously I do blind playthroughs as well, so like I'm not like trying to shit on the guy. It's just that we do them over at Those Guys Play YouTube channel, by the way, if you don't know. But the point is that it's, you know, it's a bit different than that, I think, where in some cases, because he's a comic, first and foremost, it feels like he's making fun of it. In this case with Detective Conan, I really don't think, he's not shitting on the anime at all. Arguably, his whole, oh, it's a man trapped in a young boy's body was awkward, because it's like, he didn't make it clear, it's his own, it's Conan's own body. And also, it's kind of funny, because at the time he was a teen, but at this point, with how long the show has gone on, he would be in his 30s, which is kind of funny. This is actually Conan Edogawa. This is Shinichi. He would be in his 30s if the anime was going with didn't have a sliding timeline like comic books. But either way, I think this was a lot of fun. You disagree? That's cool. Post about it in the comment section down below. But I thought this was funny. I thought the video was hilarious. I wish that the mayor could have spoken in Japanese and they just translated it. Not sure why he had to speak in English, because they ended up putting subtitles anyway. But, I mean, if that's what the mayor wanted to do, that's fine. I loved his doskoi at the end. He didn't say it, but he was thinking it. Like, he basically had his hand out. He was like, come get some. And then Conan was like, you should not mess with that guy. Because he actually was like, why was he doing this? Like, bring it on. And then the pose and the point. I was just sitting there and I was like, all right, this guy clearly watches NJPW, or at the very least is a fan of, because I don't know if, actually, wait, no, I think, actually, what am I even saying? Not just NJPW and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure Conan actually had that signature point as well. Although many anime characters have pointed that way, to be fair. I mean, Yusuke Urameshi, not Goku, funnily enough, but a bunch of other characters have. So it's just, I don't know. I found it to be silly fun. I liked it. Also, I do like Conan, and I like Detective Conan, so maybe that's just, you know, both are kind of canceling out. So it's not like I'm going for one over the other. I don't know. Either way, we'll have to see if Conan O'Brien actually gets his, his 3 trillion yen, which, by the way, sounds, with conversion rates, you're like, oh, is that actually a little bit? No, I should mention 3 trillion yen is 27 billion US dollars. We'll see if Conan gets his royalties. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out.